Welcome to Flow Made Simple. Today we are breaking apart the igneous flow to learn the 3 core parts of every single mace flow and the order in which they should be applied when learning new flows. Now, whether you're creating your own flows or you're learning someone else's, these 3 core parts are the same and should be applied in the same order. The first of these is landmarks. And landmarks, in simple terms, simply means static positions, so no momentum, that the mace is in, and you can think of them almost like waypoints in a flow. Now, in the igneous flow, there are several different landmarks. The first is in warrior stance. Then we go into the load prior to the joust. Then the next landmark is at the end of the joust. Then we go back to that loaded position. The next landmark is at the end of the yin-yang pass. Then the next landmark is going to be the uppercut. And finally, it's going to be the down strike. And so those are all of the key points that you pass through in the igneous flow, and is again what gives it shape. Now, landmarks are the most rigid and kind of yang part of the flow. It's how we can add power and how we can really use our breath to project energy. However, to create a flow, you need at least 2 landmarks, and you have to connect those landmarks with a transition. Now, transitions are the many ways that we can move between landmarks, and there are really an unlimited number of them. However, every single transition is going to involve handwork, like a basic prayer switch or a sword draw switch. And there's also often a component of managing momentum, like a coin flip or a back pass. And so those are some of the things that characterize transitions. We're able to add grace and fluidity as we move between our landmarks. Now, in the igneous flow, we just talked about all those landmarks. The transitions are everything that knits them together. It's where we're generating momentum and where we're finding a new landmark. And as you can see, there are a lot of different styles of them. And the last thing that I want to do is illustrate that there are so many transitions from a single landmark. And to do that, I'm just going to show you from a cradle grip. Now, from a cradle grip, which is this posture, this landmark here, where I've arrested the momentum and it's static, I can transition into an arrow. I can open out into a shield. I can grab underneath and swing the mace. Probably my personal favorite, I can switch into Shaolin Zero. And finally, another good one, this leads us into our next topic, is I can go behind the back. But you saw that requires footwork. Now, you can truly create a mace flow using only landmarks and transitions. However, footwork is what gives it dimension. It opens up the possibilities exponentially because we are now moving in X, Y, and Z axes. And that allows us to use new landmarks and especially new transitions between landmarks. And so footwork is a very powerful tool. Now, in the igneous flow, we're really just using lateral lunges and front lunges, but it's the timing of these lunges that matters so much. The power of the joust comes from the snap of the hips between lateral lunge and front lunge. In this way, footwork helps us to focus energy and make a movement more powerful. And then also, it can add rhythm to the flow. In the igneous flow, you can see that during the overhead pass, there's a little bit of movement through the legs as I kind of create a circular energy kind of field, essentially, as that transition happens. And that allows there to be greater rhythm to the flow and allows it to kind of actually find a deeper degree of flow in and of itself. And you're gonna find that even the mental state that accompanies that when you're moving, with the upper body and lower body harmonized as one, is that much greater. But the question remains, what order should they be applied in? And the answer is this. You want to start with your landmarks. You want to build stability, you want to understand the structure of the flow, and you want to master the waypoints you're passing through. Then you want to work on your transitions. You want to make them smooth and fluid. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And once you got those 2 down, you can move on to the footwork. The footwork adds a lot more complexity because another half of the body is involved in something, and it also requires you to have already mastered the landmarks and transitions of the upper body so that you can seamlessly integrate the lower body. The goal is harmony, which is why you add in the footwork last. This is an essential lesson in mace flow, these 3 core parts. And if you want to learn more essential lessons, download my 57-page ebook. We cover everything from specific tactics for mace control, how to design your own workouts, and we also talk about specific strategies to access flow state. It's entirely free and you can cover all of the lessons in only 14 days. It's stellar and the link is in the description down below. And with that, thank you for watching and may the mace be with you.